this point, I need to add some more string to my bracelet because I just don't have enough left to finish. You always want to add more string when you still have plenty of string that you are working with. So you can see here I've got about a hand length of string left, like this. In order to add new string, I need to first unthread my needle from the string that I'm going to be replacing. I already have new thread cut here, and you can see it's nice long length, hopefully enough to finish my bracelet. And I'm going to thread my needle onto that new string, which I'm going to do off camera because it's just easy. Once your needle is threaded, like mine, you are going to count up 3 rows from where you began, or where you're ending. So this is the row I'm ending at. I'm going to count up 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. And I'm going to sew in with my thread. I'm going to pull all the way through, and I'm going to leave just a little bit of a tail, just a little like so. And then I'm going to go into the next row, and I'm just going to keep hold of that tail as I'm threading in and then pulling the thread through. Sometimes it can be a little hard to get your thread in. That's fine. That actually means that you are going to have a tighter hold overall. Okay, so I'm going to pull through. Oh, and I didn't hold on to my tail. Let that be a lesson. So I thread in, pull, hold on to my tail, go into the next, pull, hold your tail, hold your tail. I'm going to feed into the next row. Hold the tail. And then I'm going to feed into my last row, the one that my previous thread ended at. And I'm going to pull tight. At this point, I should have enough tension in my thread. See, I'm yanking this and it's not going anywhere. That my tail and the friction of the thread and the beads is holding my thread in place. So I'm going to leave that tail for now, but at the end I can just clip it and not have to worry at all. Now you'll notice I still have this other thread from my previous thread I was using. I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few more rows of beads. So I'm going to do that now at 4 times speed. All right, you can see here I've now added a few more rows from where this tail left off. Now I need to weave my old tail into my new beadwork so that it will have the same tension as the new thread I just added. So I'm going to unthread my needle from my new thread I'm working from and thread it back on to the tail of my previous thread. Remember that threading the needle is a time-consuming process sometimes. Just keep working at it. Call me over if you're struggling. And it's okay if you are struggling with it. Once you've got your needle threaded, what you are going to do is you are going to go to the row right underneath where the tail is hanging off. So the tail hangs off here in the row that ends in one black. I'm going to move down to the row that's yellow, yellow, pink, and I'm going to feed my needle through that row and pull through. Then I'm going to go down to the row underneath that, feed in my needle, pull through, again go to the row underneath that, pull through. You want to do this 3 to 4 times, so I'm going to do this one last time. Feed through and pull through, and then that tail is done. I could maybe do it one more time if I want to be extra secure, so I'll go and do that. It's not necessary, it's just for you worriers out there. Okay, feed through. I'm going to pull off my needle from that tail because we don't need it anymore. And now, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to just cut that thread. So I'm going to cut this thread. Make sure you only cut that one tail, and that is all. And the rest of the tail is going to be pulled back into your beadwork, and you won't even see it. I can go ahead and cut that previous tail too. Cut right up close to the beadwork there. I could maybe even cut a little bit closer just to make sure that tail is truly, truly hidden. Okay, there we go. And then once I have dealt with my little tails, I know my beadwork is secure, I can rethread my needle back onto my new thread and keep going working on your bracelet. If your bracelet gets to the point where you're all the way at the bottom here and you still need to keep adding more, you have a way of continuing your bracelet, and that method is to unscrew both bolts here, like so, and you are just going to twist your top and bottom dowel at the same time so that your bottom dowel is giving thread while your top dowel is taking it. Then you can retighten your dowels with your nuts right here. Make sure everything is nice and snug and tight. You want your warp threads to be snug. Tighten everything up. You can see that the bracelet goes over the threads here, and that is fine. You now have plenty more room to keep working. Keep working on your bracelet until it is the desired length, and then move on to the next video to see how to end it.